Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified.
Fake news.
I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security.
Fake news.
Because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to be calling, they're going to want to brief me.
Fake news.
But I'm not a talker about this stuff.
Fake news.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
Fake news.
Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security
Fake news.
secrets.
Fake news.
Of course, it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
Well,
This
that's
is
true.
like Watergate, only it's worse.
Yes!
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
And welcome to another edition of the Lee Michaels Show, where we call out fake news every day. We know it now. It's been drilled into our heads. We've heard it day and night, 24/7, on social media, regular media. We can't get away from it. We go to our favorite comedy shows and we hear it. Because the main man, the President of the United States, is the manufacturer of fake news. He is the orchestrator of bovine excrement. No other president in my lifetime has ever been like this guy. From throwing paper towels, rolls of paper towels, to the people who are devastated in Puerto Rico, to telling his vice president to go to the football game, and as soon as they start kneeling, you get up, you and your wife, get up and walk out. This is a command from the commander-in-chief. Who does that? Only the orchestrator, the master blaster of fake news. Now, and I could go on and on and on, but you guys have had an entire weekend to absorb, digest, process, and understand that this guy is pimping. Big, huge pimping. All of you. You, the people that voted for him. I hope y'all got some preparation H, because y'all took one for the team. I mean, really. Not only that, he continues to do it. He's been doing it now for what, 3-4 years almost? Lying through his teeth, pigeonholing people into positions that they shouldn't be in, working with foreign countries to manipulate the outcome of the election. I said it. And I'm not taking it back. Ever. Because I truly in my gut feel that that's what happened. We got bamboozled. Not we, not me, because I told y'all not to vote for this guy. He's not right. He's a self-serving jackrabbit. What do you think the J stands for in his middle name? I mean, you can call it jackrabbit, jackass. I could go on, but I'm not, because there may be a kid or two watching. But let me just say this. It's time for us to start ignoring him. I say to the media outlets, all the cable news networks, well, the cable commentary networks, not much news really, at least in the fashion that is being presented. It's not in a news format. But be that as it may, I won't go on my rant on that. Here's the thing. If you start ignoring this fool, then it will force him to stay focused on the real messages that matter. For example, right now, he has changed the enrollment period for the Affordable Health Care Act, a.k.a. Obamacare. And you shouldn't be afraid to say that. You should feel proud because he is the only president ever to put in an Affordable Health Care Act and made it happen. I mean, others have tried. Even Clinton. He wasn't able to pull it off. Obama did. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Can it be fixed? Absolutely. Then it could be amazing. But here's what he's doing. He's narrowed the enrollment period from November 1st to December 15th. What is that, about 45 days or so? Why? The smaller the time period, the less people will enroll. That's by design because it wants it to fail. He's doing everything that he can to make it fail. He said it was going to implode with his help. Another thing that he's done, he has reduced the advertising budget to alert people, to let them know that you can register. And I'm also being told that the site will be down on the weekends for maintenance. That's when many people have time to do things like this. See, folks, it's by design. He wants it to fail. Why? Because he has a personal racist vendetta against our former president. What else could it be? What? He's the guy that said the president wasn't born in America. He's the orchestrator of that. He is the king of birtherism. Yes. Your president, the current president of the United States, is the guy that created that whole movement. He has no credibility with me. Absolutely zero. He could tell me that World War III is going on, and I wouldn't believe it until I saw it on CNN and saw shit being blown up. That's how much credibility he has with me. Anything that he says. The whole thing with his ex-wife calling herself the first lady, and she's got the hotline to the White House and all of that. Comical. It's laughable. And then his current wife, Barbie, she comes out and says, no, bitch, I'm it. So now we got this ex-wife and current wife, doing the cat fight. Y'all think that was like not by design? Come on. He orchestrated that. Of course. It's right up his alley. Absolutely. Just like he's doing with the Affordable Health Care Act. And if this is not impeachable, I don't know what is. What the hell does he have to do? He's already showed you that he supports the KKK and the other racist organizations, but not denouncing them clearly up front. He was made to denounce them. If you had not put the pressure on him, he would not have said another word about it other than, oh, there were some good people over there and some bad on both sides. Who says that? Show me one KKK member, current or former, is a good person. Impossible. You can't be good and racist and evil at the same time. Come on. I'm not Boo-Boo the Fool. I don't drink that Kool-Aid. I've seen so-called religious people on television and on the internet defending this guy, making him sound like he is like next to God. Whew. Dangerous. I'm going to try to play some of those clips for you guys today, in case you have not seen them. I get them in my inbox all the time, so I assume most of you have seen them as well. Now, I don't know who this woman is. She's a blonde, white lady, and she's just on a rant about how great he is, and he's working on behalf of God and all of that. I'm going, oh my God. If this is the God that we're supposed to worship, we're all in trouble. See, but people, these so-called religious nutball whack jobs, will convince weak-minded people that they know what the hell they're talking about. And all they have to use is the word God and Jesus. And then that knocks down any concerns that you might have. Y'all better wake up. If you don't think pimping is in the pulpit, you are sadly mistaken. Let me welcome my main, my radio DAWG to the show. Chris Bass, what's up, buddy?
Boom, shakalaka. How you doing, man? How's everything?
It was doing fine until you started bubbling on me. What the hell?
Oh, geez.
Who else is up? Okay, Alpha just logged in, and I think that's what made
it. That's not Alpha.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Apollo. Apollo, log out and change your baud setting to 96 kilobits. I think that's
you
what's...
can't go to 96.
Yeah, you can. Drop it from 128 to 196. I'm sorry, 96 kilobits. So, Chris...
All right, what about now?
Well, you sound fine. Chris, let me hear you.
Let's try it again. How's it sound now?
No, if something goes wrong when a third person comes in.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's got to be. Because we did a test before the show, and he was fine, and then Apollo came in. Anyway, let's make it happen anyway. Apollo, hang on for a second.
Let me log out and see if Chris's connection. I'll log out and then see and I'll come back in 2 minutes.
Cool. Okay, cool. Let's try that. Okay, Chris. So, I've done my little rant. Am I wrong?
No.
If you think I'm wrong, tell me. Point out where I'm wrong.
No, but here's the thing about you go back to certain people of religious backgrounds. Let's take Pat Robertson, for example. And Pat Robertson is very ultra-religious, of course, ultra-conservative.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people like him need a Trump to justify their position. So once again, for example, if you and I, say you, myself, and Apollo went to a Bible study.
Okay.
And we studied from the same Bible, King James Version of the Bible, and we walk away from the study, your version that we just learned and the Apollo version and my version, three different versions of that narrative. So it's what the person receives and how they receive the message. And going back to people like Pat Robertson on these background, religious and everything else, when you look at someone like him gravitating towards a Donald Trump, well, Donald Trump, while he was going for the presidency, did go towards the conservative Christians.
Yep.
And went there to tally votes, of which he did. So he's placating to his base, the people that voted for him. So that's why when you see him, he's always campaigning, because he's going to play to the people that voted for him. And when people attach God into it, that's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Once again, the definition of your God or his God or her God could be different. And that's where it gets lost in translation. It should be from my perspective, a one understanding, a one love, a one union. We can have our differences, of course, but if we talk about God and religion, I think about love and embracement. That's what I think about. But you could always look. God's been used for wars, for God's sakes, literally. So we've always used that for example, any narrative that you read the King James Version of the Bible, it talks about God from the standpoint of being a thunderous God, a God that will come through vengeance, and we hear all this type of God, and that scares people, and then people justify it by, like you said before, about pimps in the pulpit. Yeah, all the time. If it's used for monetary gain and used for power, anybody in power dishes out the privileges, and so when you combine that since the beginning of time, it's always been dangerous. But people get to a point where, okay, my God is bigger than your God, and that's where it gets lost, and that's very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so clear that all of this stuff is orchestrated. And just like apparently Trump called the owner of the Dallas Cowboys and told him not to allow his players to kneel.
Right.
And so what he's doing is he's pulling out a gun and putting it to the head of the owner of the Cowboys, America's team, by the way, and said, hey, look, if you do that, we're going to pull out the advertising dollars that we give you guys in order to do the ceremony before each game at the NFL. Because y'all know the government pays for that. What was it, back in 1990 or something? That's when it all started. Prior to that, the freaking football players didn't even come out of the locker room until after the ceremony. So government dollars are being spent to advertise the red, white, and blue. Why? Because they want people to join the military. It's a form of advertisement. Making you feel proud because of the red, white, and blue in the national anthem, and the planes are flying over. At what cost? It costs tens of thousands of dollars to have those jets to fly over a stadium like that. Mm-hmm. It's not water they're burning. It's time and effort and wear and tear on the military planes.
It's paid patriotism.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm not knocking down. My dad served in World War I. I had uncles that served in World War II, brother-in-laws that served in the Vietnam crisis, and also family members that served in Korea. So I'm red, white, and blue, born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia. The world's
you even said it right.
No, it's actually Norfolk, but it's
well,
the world's largest naval base. Still today, I have been down to Pier 12 when the aircraft carriers came in, and my brother-in-law was on it, and I went aboard those aircraft carriers to go out for family day cruises. I'm red, white, and blue. Anybody that says anything against that, they don't know me. I'm red-blooded, 100% American. But I understand marketing, promotions, and manipulation. I've been in the media business for 52 freaking years. I get it. Maybe you don't. But I get it. I understand. I've been at those board meetings when plans were put together talking about how we're going to manipulate our way to number one. Using various strategies, research, what music to play and what not to play. I get it. I totally understand it. Been there, done that. So you can come with any kind of argument you want, but I know. I'm here to tell you, I know exactly how it works. In the military, what that conversation between Jerry and Donald was real simple. Hey Jerry, hey, man, good luck with your team, by the way. Hey, listen, I need your help here. I need your help. We got to curtail this whole knee thing. Come on, it's killing me. We got to stop this. You can't allow your guys to go out there and do that anymore. And if they do, you got to tell them you're gonna get rid of them. They're gonna get some kind of punishment. They just can't do it. It's making me look bad. Come on, man. Now, Jerry's probably a Republican. He's got a little red stripe down his back. He's trying to do the right thing. He was out there kneeling with his boys. But now he's got to change his mind because the president called and put pressure on him. Just like the president told the vice president to walk out when they kneel. He even admitted it. Ain't no shame in this game. Now, let me just throw this over to Apollo for a second, because Apollo, I know you support everything the president is doing. So you tell me how I'm wrong.
My IQ is bigger than his, and Tillerson's. I would be willing to compare our scores, and let you speak to the real first lady, Ivana.
That's orchestrated as well.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, first of all,
the
Trump
ex-wife-
he broke federal law by
Right.
telling. I mean, he can be imprisoned for even making that phone call.
Yeah, well, do we
18 U.S. Code 227 states that you wrongfully influencing a private entity's employment decisions by a member of Congress or an officer or employee of the legislative or executive branch is against the law. Whoever being a covered government person with the intent to influence solely on the basis of partisan political affiliation an employment decision or employment practice of any private entity takes or withholds or offers or threatens to take or withhold an official act or influences or offers or threatens to influence the official act of another shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for no more than 15 years or both, and may be disqualified from holding any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States of America. He obviously, blatantly, and just foolishly committed that crime.
several times. The
Yes.
conversation he had
So
with
why is he not being held accountable?
I agree, because the members of Congress have no hair on their chest or anywhere else on their bodies to stand up against this guy because of what? Fear.
I don't even know that it's fear. I think they're planning a coup. I think that they, I don't know. I absolutely don't understand it.
There's no rhyme or
He's
reason.
obviously mentally deranged. He's crazy. And I think he just likes waking up and seeing he don't care if it's good press or bad press. He is manipulating the world he's a
Absolutely.
kid
He
who
is.
pitches a tantrum. I have a cousin who is developmentally disabled, and she will do shit to get attention, whether it's good or bad attention, because she's fucking crazy. I love her, but she's fucking crazy. And if we're not paying her enough attention, she'll poke holes in the walls. At least she's the center of attention. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that sounds like your president.
Yeah.
Yes. So it doesn't matter if it's good. I'm going to throw paper towels at you. I'm going to fucking say stupid shit. I'm going to get my wife fighting, and it doesn't matter. It's just me. Notice me. I'm the fucking king of the world.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do away with the Environmental Protection Agency. Anything that black men did, I want it gone, because I'm a racist. I've been a racist my whole life. If you really check my track record.
Yep.
And people say, well, he's got black people in his administration. Well, yeah, all slave owners had a couple house Negroes. So, that doesn't mean he's not a racist.
Yep. It's
So
those who are willing
just
to
because you
play
got a
along
couple
with
black
it.
people doing his dirty work, come on, guys.
Everybody's got a price. And,
Right.
obviously he has met the price and the demand of those people who are in his cabinet, who are people of color. Now, listen.
He's got to go, man. He's got to go.
I know.
And it's going to happen.
You
It's
sure?
got to happen quick.
Can you promise
It's
me
got
that?
to. I can't promise you, but I have had a conversation with God, who I have a great relationship with, and I've said, God, I need you to reinforce my faith, and I need you to intervene and show me that you're going to protect us from this foolishness. Don't know if you saw the movie A Face in a Crowd with Andy Griffith. Have you ever seen that movie?
Classic. Great movie.
I may
It
have.
describes exactly what
Not
we're
sure.
going through.
But wait a minute.
I would
Now,
welcome you or anybody that's listening tonight to go online, whether it be Amazon or wherever you can find it. If it costs you $2, watch A Face in the Crowd. And it has prophesized what we're going through right now.
Face in the crowd. I'm going to check it out. I probably have seen it, but
A Face in the Crowd.
Andy Griffith.
Now-
Andy Griffith only did like 2 movies, but
Yeah.
that one was very, prolific. Patricia O'Neal was in it. I think Walter Matthau was in it, and it's very prosthetic. Also deals with the fact of just for someone that was humble in his humble beginnings, coming from that area, and then this rise to power and this rise of his mentality. Because I mean, in his mind, he became the king.
Right.
It's amazing.
And
a great movie.
isn't it ironic that Dove released a commercial about ethnic cleansing on Columbus Day yesterday?
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
Now, I've talked to some women, and one in particular, she didn't have a problem with that. I didn't see it, so I can't really talk from my perspective on it. But for what I understand,
well, a black lady had a brown sweater on, and as she lifted it off, she became white, and they had the Dove soap there. So they should have just used Michael Jackson to endorse it. That's what I think.
Well, they can't. Come on. He's not with us.
They could have showed his picture when he was a kid and his picture now and said Dove.
Dove.
Dove stands for done over very ethnically.
So there are people that are upset by it. I mean, what's your take on it?
I think it was. I don't know. I mean, a black woman turns white when she. I don't know what it meant. I mean, if you're just looking at it, you pull off a brown sweater and you become white, and then it shows Dove soap. I don't know. It didn't make sense. So it was art. If it was artistic, it truly left the interpretation of what it meant open, and some people took the wrong interpretation. But I think if you're doing art, you should do art, and if you're selling soap, you should sell soap. Sometimes when you try to mix the two, you can. The interpretation of the art was misleading and insulting.
Yeah, I agree. As a matter of fact, throughout the whole spot, if you see a brown woman with a brown shirt, takes it off, reveals a white woman, white shirt, and then she goes into a tan shirt in an Asian woman after the white woman. So, it gets lost in translation. But historically in America, when you've seen ads for soap, and so a white woman wash, you say a black baby, so these suds and everything else, you see the black face, then they stand up, and from the neck down, they're white and they're clean, except for their dirty black face.
Well,
so traditionally, we've seen it, and it gets lost. I can see where people get pissed off, but at the same time, in today's, I want to see the person who co-signed and say, "Yeah, go with the ad, go right ahead, go ahead." And
Probably Trump.
Right.
Well, some people say that
go with it.
There must not have been any people of color in the creative process to ring the bell to say, maybe this might not be perceived the right way.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's possible.
Yeah.
But
or better yet, maybe they did it knowing it would piss people off because everybody is aware of Dove soap this week. So there we go. Sometimes press is press.
You use some Trumpism on it, huh?
I mean, it's not even Trumpism. Even in radio, even if you get some bad press, it's press.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I'm not a Dove person. I'm just I just buy bar soap. I'm old school. Right now I use Coast or Dial. I wash my hair with soap. I don't put shampoo in my hair.
Really?
I've been putting bar soap in my hair all my life, and I ain't got a chance of being bald. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's all the same anyway. They just.
But let me say this: Mike Pence going to an NFL game and getting offended because somebody took a knee is like me going to a titty bar and getting offended because I saw a girl's ass. I mean, it's going to happen.
Let me think about that.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's been going on for a year now. So you go somewhere and that they're going to do it.
Well, his boss told him to go.
If not only they going to do it, but because you're there, because you are this asshole's fucking do-boy, they're going to do it just to spite. Because right now the knee ain't about the flag. It's about spiting the administration. So if the administration is in the building, he's lucky they didn't pull their dicks out, too.
Damn. But you're right.
I'm saying I'd have held my nuts and got on my knee. But fuck you, Mike Pence. Get on D's, motherfucker.
But see, here's the problem. And the president admitted that he sent the guy there to do just that because they knew they were going to need it. They knew it.
How many warm meals you could have bought with $250,000
for
Puerto Ricans?
Absolutely.
That's a lot of peanut butter right there, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Not only that, why didn't Trump take his own private plane and fill it with supplies and take it down there.
Yeah, well, why don't he do a lot of things?
You know,
I don't think he has the money he wants us to think he has.
I'm not taking a paycheck.
And I think he's going to end up broke. I think he's going to end up losing everything. And I will celebrate good times when it happens.
Well, I tell you what. I'll be singing "Oh Happy Day."
I will. Boy, it will be we'll have a new Independence Day.
I'd like to see him out on the street corner with a cup begging with a little
I want to see
cardboard
he and
sign.
Bernie Madoff as roommates. That's what I want to see.
No, you might want to keep them separated because they might outlive all of us and come back and do the same bovine again.
Put Trump in there with a big greasy murderer who has an orange fetish.
Hey, buddy, I like you got some orange underwear on. That's my favorite color.
You look like a Oompa Loompa. I
Yeah.
can get with you.
Yeah, put him in there with Bubba in them.
Too bad Tukey ain't still alive. Whatever his name was.
Yeah. I don't
named
know.
Tukey Williams? Tukey?
Yeah, I think it was.
You remember the guy? The Crip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he was trying to help people. It's amazing. He's dead and Charles Manson's still alive.
Yeah. He's getting the right food up in there. The right nutrition. Something. Yeah, the evil seems to prevail, unfortunately. But
I need God to intervene. I need God to intervene.
But see here, okay, and I'm glad you brought that up again. Is this God that you're praying to the same God that these evangelistic crazy nutballs are preaching about?
A basket of deplorables. Just call it. Hillary got one thing right.
How can they use the name of God in such a negative aspect? I mean, they're saying that God put this man in there because he's righteous.
Oh, well, they're full of shit, and they're delusional, and anybody that has any kind of conscious contact with God knows that they're false prophets and that they will, you know, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
How can you follow someone, go to their church when they make those kind of statements? I got
into it with these crackers over the weekend. You know, I talked about the knee and Pence. They're like, well, I disagree. I'm like, what the fuck does the flag got to do with the NFL anyway? And when you're playing at every sporting event in the country every weekend, we're playing the national anthem. This is no lie. From elementary to pro sports, the national anthem is being played in football fields over 500,000 times a week in the United States. That's a fact. Do the math. Check it. Over 500,000 times a week, somebody's playing a national anthem, pre-recorded, or somebody's singing it. That borderlines on brainwashing. What the fuck does the national anthem, who, if you read the third verse, it says no hireling or slave can avoid the death of the grave, because black people were also fighting for their freedom during the War of 1812 because they joined the British. And so the third verse tells you niggas gonna die. That's what it tells you. So why would I stand and put my hand over my heart for some shit that said that if I were a person of color? Totally makes no sense. We need to revisit what song we're going to use. Secondly, it borderlines on brainwashing. And then the motherfucker says, well, freedom is not free. Well, the fucking word free is in the word freedom, so it should be free, and the people that are telling you that are the people that are enslaving you.
Yep.
So don't come with that fucking regurgitated patriotic horse shit and get that orange cock out of your mouth. I'm sorry, I'm done.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people feel exactly the way that you just expressed yourself. Most people are afraid to say it. I come in here every day and I speak what's coming out of my heart. And obviously you just spoke what's in your heart, in your mind, and in your conscience. And
I done fired Alpha up now.
Well, it does no good to be the bad voice when you're here.
Yeah, I got you back, baby. If you can't be around, I got you covered, Alpha. He always thinks Apollo is Alpha when I come in anyway, because all he can see is the A and the O.
Yeah, that's true.
That's because his eyes are failing him.
Yeah,
he's consonant blind.
That is
blind.
That is
old
true.
mofo.
That is true. You're both absolutely correct. And I'm proud of it. I'm still here. And y'all going to miss me when I'm gone.
That's what my granddaddy used to
I'm going to haunt the hell out of you, though. Every time you turn around, you're going to say, that damn Lee, I thought he was gone.
We ain't
I'd
afraid
rather
of no
have you
ghosts.
haunt me and Carol, though.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah, no.
That's right. I'm gonna get you and Carol together.
No, sir.
She said she might be interested in dating you, by the way.
But you can't.
She did say that.
But you can't touch her.
She
You
said-
can't touch her.
She said-
we'll just have fucking phone sex. We'll masturbate in the same room together.
No, she said she thinks that you're just a lot of talk and you like to hear yourself talk, but she thought that she could probably tame you.
Yeah, well, I would break her old ass in half. She don't want to fuck with me.
Shit started Lee. I tell you.
I'd whoop Carol's ass.
No,
I
you
don't
wouldn't.
hit a woman, but I punch Carol.
You wouldn't do that. Because she's going to make
I'm just
good
playing.
love to you. She's going to break you down, man. And you're going to
Yeah, I don't
be
think
sitting
she's
over in
got
the
it in
corner
her.
purring with Fat Boy and her and that other cat. Little man.
What's that?
She
Right
What's
over
that?
that
Little,
wrist.
yeah.
Tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Little man, and fat boy. Yeah.
Little man, Fat Boy, and her. She's got 3 different cats. You'll be sitting right over there on a pillow with the other 3 cats, and you'll be purring like a little kitty.
Yeah.
Y'all are just
Well,
brutal.
God bless her. God bless her.
She'll have
Yeah,
you
just
whipped in
brutal.
no time.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what would probably happen.
She can't do nothing for me but make my car payment. That's about all she can do.
Paint my house.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all are bad. Yeah, you better not underestimate the Carol, as she's called, the Carol. Not just Carol, the
Not
Carol.
the
Carol.
Not the Christmas.
The
Not
Carol.
the Christmas Carol.
No.
Not
at
the
all.
Carol.
Not the Yuletide Carol.
No.
Just Carol.
None of that. The Carol.
Okay. The Carol.
Yep. Where's
it is.
Laura Rice today? She's been quiet. She's not in here today. At least I don't see her on Facebook.
Rice, baby. Rice.
Don't start that. Chris will start dancing.
Yeah, right?
Karen.
I'll do number 2 first.
Oh.
All
Yeah.
I heard was 2 first. That's
Yeah,
all
right.
I heard.
Yeah, it's jacked
I heard.
up.
I heard 2 first.
Well, yeah, you got cum in your ears, so I understand that.
Yeah. Hey,
I ain't got no common in my ears. I got some.
He said comedy here.
Alpha.
No, I didn't.
I thought he said I had cum in my ears, which would imply somebody had been fornicating with my ear canal. And Chris's dick is probably small enough to get it in my ear canal.
Oh,
so
stop it.
No, see, you didn't let me finish with.
And Apollo read the statute, the law that says that a president from the executive office, congressional members cannot use that kind of threat against private business. You can't do it. It's illegal. And it's punishable with fine and up to 15 years in prison. So
There you go.
if there's any hair left on the chest or the balls of any of the congressional members, I think this needs to be dealt with. And I say that to anyone that
Absolutely.
misuses their power in a negative way.
Right. You know, and we had to also realized that everything now has been intertwined. And I guess always has been, but more to the forefront now because, once again, of course, just obviously through social media and the internet,
Right.
people are aware 24 hours a day. So it's not just you get elapsed time from back in the day when you had to wait for the news to come on at a certain time. You're always involved in news. You're always ensconced in what's going on. So you get real-time information. And we were looking at what 45 is doing. And even this whole thing recently, also a lot of sports-related stuff has been in the news lately. Jamel Hill of ESPN has now been taken off for 2 weeks for quote-unquote violation of her Twitter account, you know, once again having commentary about something that's going on in our society. So
Really?
let me ask you this. I meant to ask you this before, Lee. When you're, say for example, okay, when you did contracts for on-air talent,
Yeah.
was there or wasn't there a clause in the contract, like a character clause, So case in
Yeah.
point, say if your talent got involved in something, it hits the paper and it says,
Morality clause.
Clyde Smith, of WBMX, whatever type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a morality clause in there, but, I think the clause that we used back in those days probably did not cover specifically internet activity because there was no real internet activity. But, there were things in there that would cover you if you got into some child molestation or some domestic crimes and, stuff like that. It generally covered those. It was called a morality clause.
Morality clause. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's been suspended for 2 weeks, and a lot of people are saying, of course, this is the backlash of her speaking out against the president, combined with the first time she went on her own personal Twitter account and said that, for example, that Donald Trump was a white supremacist.
Yeah.
And those comments, yeah. So this could be the backlash of that.
Well, listen, morality clauses, you remember, there have been sports commentators, Jimmy the Greek, you remember that?
Jimmy the Greek Snyder, right,
Yep.
CBS.
And didn't Cosell get in trouble as well?
Yeah, Cosell made a comment about look at Little Monkey.
Yeah.
Scramble like that.
Yeah, something to that effect. So,
Yeah.
these situations have gone on, forever.
Right.
It's nothing new. Now, I think the whole morality thing has been watered down because we have accepted so much buffoonery and craziness, and the bar has been lowered so much. Anytime you're running for the presidency and you can talk about grabbing a woman by her private parts and become the president of the United States. So I think all morality clauses need to be pulled out of all contracts now.
All right.
Otherwise, the president of the United States got away with it, so why can't you?
Yeah.
If I said that in the presence of my wife or girlfriend, I'm gonna grab some woman by the wussy, I probably wouldn't have any teeth left, let alone keeping a damn job or a relationship.
Right.
So I don't get it.
Yeah. No, it's amazing once again how art imitates life and vice versa.
Yeah.
I do concur earlier with Apollo. I would recommend it too, and it was an article that was out today, as a matter of fact, about that. Please check out A Face in the Crowd, starring Andy Griffith. It is amazing to show how one person could be just very calm and in his space, and he grew up in the country, and everybody loved him, to rise to the point of becoming a megalomaniac. He was doing radio and became a big star, and was doing TV, became a big star, and now became a consultant for a presidential candidate. So it's funny how that happened. So when you watch the movie, I'm telling you, it is amazing to see that come to fruition in our time today. This was done like when the 1950s the movie came out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm baffled, confused, disappointed, and then to the point sometimes get angry over what we allow to happen. From our religious leaders, our commentators, our elected officials, and it's just when are people going to realize that we possess the power? We put people in power, but then we back off and get scared, and then we don't challenge them once they become powerful. So, there's always debate about term limits. Well, that's the easy way out, but these guys are not going to vote any law into place that's going to eliminate their jobs. Come on. It ain't going to happen. The term limits that we have control over is going to the voting booth and vote these people out. And I'm not saying that just against one party or the other. There's some Democrats that I'm disappointed in. So
Well, Lee,
you vote them out.
let me put it like this. The truth was murdered by perception on the corner of bullshit and propaganda.
Well, that's true. That's true. So, I mean, the standards that we once lived by in the broadcast industry pretty much no longer exist. There's no checks and balances by the Federal Communications Commission. They've given away our
Those
media.
are jokes.
Oh, yeah. They've given away our media to foreign investments. Foreign investors can now own 100% of a radio station, a group of radio stations, television stations, cable, whatever they want. So one of these rich oil barons could come in and buy it all up. The Chinese own half of Las Vegas in land and real estate. Why? Because they can. Why? Because they want to be here to make more money. More money. The students coming over here spending, I mean, kids at UCLA from China driving around in $200,000 cars. Come on. Lamborghinis. Really? I mean, really? And probably getting scholarships. Some kind of financial, benefit. If not, the parents are so wealthy they can do it. They're living in luxurious condos or single-family homes. They can afford to do it. So a lot of money is being infused into our economy from foreigners, some good, some bad. But in our last election, nobody talked about that. We only heard about the people coming across the border, our southern border. They're evil, they're criminals, they're this, they're that. But you don't talk about the wealthy influence that becomes evil after they're here. The Russian invasion into southern Florida is huge. Right after we had the downturn in the economy and the housing industry crash, a lot of foreign money came in and bought up those waterfront condos, those oceanfront condos, not lakes, not rivers. We're talking the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific, not Pacific, but the Gulf of Mexico. That's who bought those condos up that used to be $4, $5, $10 million. We went down to like 50%. Overvalued anyway, but the reality is that's who live in those buildings now, including the Trump-owned buildings down there, which is garbage. Poor construction. I'm a great builder. I'm a great contractor. I know how to do it. Yeah, you know how to build cheesy shit. I wouldn't buy anything in a Trump building. So we need to understand these things, what's really going on. But nobody wants to talk about the Asian Rim that's coming in. Nobody wants to talk about the Russians and people from Europe coming in, buying up all the land and businesses, banks, media. All we say is, welcome to America. Come in. Take all that you want. iHeartMedia is in $21 billion in debt. Every bank in America and American investment funds, and probably some foreign as well, are already invested. They can't go anywhere else in America to get bailed out. So the Federal Communications Commission, weeks after President Trump became the president, relaxed the ownership rules so that foreigners can own 100% of iHeartMedia. And that's the only place in the world they can go to outside of the United States to find a fool, a dumbass, to buy them out. Because that's exactly what that person will be, because they can't make those numbers work.
Wasn't that a great place? The Russian mafia launders their money?
Well, yeah. But see, here's the thing. If someone buys them out, they're still going to be faced with the same situation. To get the return on their investment, all of those radio stations would have to almost double their revenue on an annual basis to make it work. And that's not going to happen. It's impossible. Ain't going to happen. Don't wish for it. Don't think that you're a miracle worker and make it happen. It's not going to happen. Why? Because the advertising community will not double the ratings or double the revenue spending on those stations, because if the ratings don't go up proportionately, they can't justify to Dove, General Motors, or Coca-Cola, anybody else that, listen, we know you gave us $1 billion last year to spend on radio, television, billboards, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we're going to need $2 billion this year. Why? The parent company is going to go, why? What happened? Why do you need to double or even 25% increase? What's your justification for that, Mr. Advertising Agency? Well, iHeartMedia and all the other companies came to us and they said they had to double because they got to service their debt. And you know what? If they're smart, if Coca-Cola or whoever it is smart, they would say, advertising agency, you're fired. In fact, we're pulling all of our advertising dollars. We're not going to give any of these we're going to put it all on the internet.
Right.
We're going to put it somewhere else. We're not going to buy any of the traditional media. Folks, that's what's happening. There's been a movement for the last 10 years moving traditional advertising dollars from radio, television, print, newspapers, magazines, all of it to the internet. They can do it more efficiently because right now, if they know that there are 15,000 people watching this broadcast, they will reach that 15,000 people at a certain cost per thousand, okay? And they can see it in real time. But with an FM station or TV station, they can't get that real time acknowledgement of how many people are watching my ad right now. The technology isn't there because the old traditional method of broadcasting is a one-way. Internet is two-way. When you connect to our servers, we know who you are, not your facial, your real identity, but we know where you're located. And based on some other data that you've maybe put into Google or whatever, we can basically tell you your age bracket, your male or female, your educational background, and your geographical general location. That information is very important to the advertisers because they know, okay, I'm reaching Lee Michaels in Los Angeles. He's in the 60-plus range. My product is geared to that person, or it isn't. They can see that real time.
Right.
So that's part of the problem that traditional media has, and they still think that they can just simulcast their FM or AM station and get the benefits. Well, no, not really. You got to do a little more than that.
But see, you also mentioned about this whole thing with depth. For example, Sinclair Broadcasting Group. Here in Chicago, we had a heritage radio station. We still do WGN Radio, WGN TV, also WGN America. It was a super station at one point on cable. Sinclair Broadcasting Group purchased that back in May for $3.9 billion with a B, boys and girls.
Right.
$1 billion plus the assumption of a $2.7 billion in debt. And so this is this same group that's followed the stations that includes WGN, KTLA there in Los Angeles, TV television, also WPIX-TV in New York, and moving its conservative brand into the top 3 markets in the U.S.
Well, good luck with that. They paid what, $3.9 billion? You said
3.9. That's right.
And they got how much debt? 2.7.
And the debt was $2.7 billion.
Well, My granddaughter, who is in high school, my granddaughters who are in elementary school can do the math on that and realize that that's going to be a push.
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible to make it work? Yeah. But at what cost to the staff, advertising, marketing, and promotion departments? They may have to move out of some buildings, and there's costs associated with moving. There's all kind of changes that will probably have to be made to make that kind of a deal work. I mean, you're going to have to do a real big sell job on your stockholders to get them to spend more money with you, buy more stock to make that work. Good luck. But see, all of the guys that have lived and walked across those burning sands, real broadcasters, we can do the math in our head and tell you that dog won't hunt. It's too rich. But they'll see. And there have been other companies that I've worked with that bought and paid, crazy prices for radio stations in major markets. And I told them, I said, don't do it. It's too rich. It ain't going to work. You're not going to be able to increase your gross revenue by 10, 15, 20% sustained for the next 10 years. It ain't going to happen because your ratings are not going to go up proportionately. And remember, that's how the advertisers work. It's based on ratings. All right, folks, we'll be back tomorrow right here at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's noon in the Midwest, and on the East Coast, 1 p.m. Join us, tell your friends, and join my whack job, whack ball, knuckle dragon Republican friend, the only one I have left, Jesse Terrero, today at 5 o'clock. He's going to try to debunk everything we just said. Good luck, Jesse. Now, I just gave you my audience. Be kind to them. All right, folks, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 10. Chris, Alpo.
Later.
Apollo. And, of course, Carol, she's out there doing something else today. She didn't want to come hang out with the boys. All right, God bless to all of you.